Welcome to Bald Headed Logic. Today, our three NFL alumni use their unique logic as former NFL players to give you the competitive edge that you'll need to win your league this year. With their host, Coach Troy.
I happen to be the best fantasy football player in America.
Yeah, okay.
I've won the NFL challenge of all the NFL Players Association have a fantasy football league every year. I'm that mug twice out of the last 4 years.
And tell me, man, who do you think is going to be the top running backs in fantasy football?
But John Robinson, man, that's the guy you want to pick first.
It's Bijan.
But
that's okay. It's Bijan Robinson, not Bijan.
John, that vomit.
Man, this ain't Mama called it Gladys, Virginia. It's the World Wide Web. It's Bijan Robinson.
Okay, man. All right, Mr. RB. But I like Jamar Gibbs as well. I think the departure of his sidekick. Houston. He went to Houston.
Houston, yeah, it was Houston, yeah.
Yeah. And I think with that departure, Jamar Gibbs is destined to have a huge season as well. So man, I'm the master of this stuff.
All right. If you say so. I'm just gonna say
I need you. And I love beating you, so we gonna all have a fantasy team this year.
We should have a fantasy league, but we need to have.
I leave the fantasies to y'all. Tattoo with the blue hat on and Mr. Rourke Don over there. I leave Fantasy Island to y'all.
That's the Timberwolves, baby. Timberwolves.
My take on it is just that I think Bijan Robinson is the most exciting running back right now to watch in the game. Just from a exciting perspective, you talked about Jahmyr Gibbs' ability to catch the ball. I think Bijan Robinson could play wide receiver in the NFL if he, wanted to. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, so he can run inside, he can run outside. I think he's done well in the lateral passing game. The dude really gets it in. I think as long as that team down in Atlanta gets consistent quarterback play, we know, that our favorite son from the University of Washington got hurt at the quarterback spot last year. I think if he's healthy this year, though, they'll have a great opportunity in order to get some consistency. I love Bijan Robinson, the way he plays, the way he runs. He can do it all, and he, gets into the end zone. I think he's going to score a lot of points. So Jahmyr Gibbs, yes, because now he's not splitting carries with David Montgomery. We'll see how healthy he stays, because that is, one of those things. He's a smaller guy. I just like Bijan Robinson. If I'm starting a team right now, I know there are other running backs in the league, but he's going to be my guy. His age and his ability to all things he can do, he's the guy that I'm starting my running back right now.
Hey, okay. So here's the dude I want to bring up. What about, and I haven't seen him, I was looking on some lists, but what about Kenneth Walker III, man? I
think that's a sleeper. I think that's a big time sleeper. Yeah.
That's a Super Bowl MVP. A team I root for is the Seahawks, and we end up losing him, and Kansas City picked him up, man. So that's a big win for them, So, man, I'm looking at him doing you see Patrick Mahomes dumping off the ball to backs that can't really do what he could do with it. So that to me is going to be a shocker.
I agree with that. I agree. He could have a big year.
Yeah, he's another smaller guy that you got to always consider whether he's going to be healthy. He got banged up a little bit in Seattle, too. He had a big, like you said, great playoff run for the Seahawks.
No, he was an MVP in that Super Bowl, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he got the MVP.
He won the MVP in the Super Bowl.
He did?
Yeah.
I just know he balled out. I didn't know. Yeah, for sure.
The playoffs, too. The whole playoff run in particular, he had been splitting time. They like to do the two-back thing. He had been splitting time with the other running back, the kid out of Michigan.
With Charbonnet.
UCLA, Michigan, Charbonnet. He was split carries, but Charbonnet got hurt right before the playoffs. And so they had to lean on Kenneth Walker, and he showed up and showed out. Another former Doak Walker Award winner. Salute to Greg Lewis, the first Doak Walker Award winner ever. I called him my sons or my offsprings, but Kenneth Walker was a Doak Walker Award winner and had a fantastic Super Bowl game. Bijan Robinson also won as well back in his senior year coming out of, I don't know if it was the junior or senior year, coming out of college. But, hey, I'll tell you something about Bijan Robinson. I know I'm not trying to go too far off the subject, but his dad looked like he could play in the NFL too. His dad.
Oh, my God. That dude is huge.
Dad looked like a monster. Right. Like he could have played too. So, but yeah, I think you're right. That is a good sleeper pick. I just have some concerns about just him staying healthy all the time because he is one of the smaller guys too.
You know, to round it out the top five, just say we rounded out the top five. I got Devon the A chain, as they
Is
call
he
him.
still in Miami?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a baller, man. He won my league championship last year, single hand. I mean, he consistent. I mean, he can catch the ball. He's a big play threat every time he touches the ball. And, you know, and he's going to be used mightily in that Miami offense next year. So you got
Hey, Don, real quick, before you go through that rest of that list, explain what's the ramifications of being a good fantasy football player versus just regular dude in the league.
It's not that much difference, Chuck. I mean, Greg said it best. He picked Bashan Robinson as the best running back in the league, and that's who I got as the best football fantasy player next year. But one thing about it though, you want to look at the guys when it comes to fantasy football. You want to look at guys that kind of can do it all, like catch the ball out of the backfield and run that combination, because you get so many points by catching the ball, and so you can tile up a nice little scorecard. Just, you know, with a running back, he may only get 50-yard rushes, but he may have 50-yard receiving. Plus, you get counted for the yards and the receptions. So you want to look
in the
at
end
running
zone
back.
too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And also, you know, are they like 3-down backs? You know, because some backs as soon as you get to the end zone, to Troy's point, they might take him out. You know, put in a
A scorer.
big old bruiser back. So you got
guy that's on the field a lot.
Yeah. See, let me add to that real quick too. Like with Jahmyr Gibbs last year, you know, with David Montgomery, with Jahmyr Gibbs would get him, you know, way down there, and then, you know, David Montgomery sometimes would get the touchdown, and, you know, so you would guys that's got a lot of fantasy value are guys like Christian McCaffrey and guys like that, who they have a lot of fantasy value because they're going to play on all parts of the field and they're not sharing. You know, a lot of times you got to look at, you know, when you look at fantasy value, you want to look at if they're going to be sharing carries, if they're going to be sharing the load. If like I said, I think I'm going with Jahmyr Gibbs this year, number one, because of the simple fact that he's going to be an every down back this year, and he's not going to be sharing the load as much with the David Montgomery. So you got to look at all those tangibles when you're looking at your draft picks, and that's with all positions.
And you got to see
yeah,
who's going to be healthy.
Running backs these days, you're not going to find a running back not too many running backs that you're the only primary ball carrier. Most teams now, that dual threat type of deal.
Yeah.
But you look at guys, you know, so that's why when you get a guy that's going to have a huge workload, I mean, those guys are valuable when it comes to fantasy football because they're not sharing a lot. Like, look at a Christian McCaffrey. He's going to get a majority of the carries and the touches and the downs. You don't have a legitimate backup. So
the guy in Baltimore is going to get a lot of carries too.
What's
the
that?
The guy in Baltimore is going to get a lot of carries too.
Yeah. Derrick Henry's definitely on that list.
Their teams
that got two backs, and then there's some teams that got dual backs. To me, dual backs is like Detroit last year. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, they were dual. I mean, they literally split the carry. There are other teams who have two backs where there's a main guy and then there's the other guy. I think Achane was in that mode last year in Miami. And then there are guys who they're the back, and when they get tired or they get hurt, the other guy comes in. And that's like the situation for me in Baltimore. So you got to look for that. But also, I think, and the reason I keep mentioning about size and health, you want a guy who's going to be healthy. Christian McCaffrey probably could have led the league in fantasy points every year if he didn't keep getting hurt. So you got to look at guys who are going to be healthy too.
That's the big thing.
That's why I think Christian is, you know, I don't want to wish nothing bad on
value. He's losing some value.
But he was healthy last year, which means what, man? I don't know about this year, man.
He was definitely.
It seemed like every other year he gets hurt.
Start from one again and give us your top five.
Okay.
Deshaun Robinson, number one. Jahmyr Gibbs, number two. Achane, number three. I got Jonathan Taylor. That's my guy from Indianapolis, man. I love him. He's a great fantasy guy. He's gonna get most of the carries, most of the touches in the goal line,
all the touches.
Yeah.
And I got my sleeper is gonna be Sean Gentry next year. He didn't have the blocking last year. I mean, they beefing up the offensive line. They got a
You
quarterback
say
now.
Ashton Denty? You said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He just said it. He said it in Virginia, and you got to be able to translate.
No,
Virginia, you got to translate
I thought
Virginia.
okay. Okay. I got it.
But yeah, man, that's my top 5.
That's a good 5.
Who you got, Troy?
Well,
I got Jameer 1. I got Bijan 2. I got Jonathan 3. I gotta get Christian McCaffrey 4. I mean, he's just, we can't project injury. So I'm gonna go Christian McCaffrey 4. But then I got James Cook out of Buffalo 5. James Cook just puts on a show, and he's just been balling lately, man. And he's if James Cook don't have a good year, Buffalo don't. So I think that James Cook is my.
That's a nice
Yep,
pickup.
yep.
Nope.
And I got and I think Chuck called it on the sleeper by Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
He's going to be at that Kansas City run, and I mean he's going to be dangerous. But it's always that guy, that's going to come out of nowhere. That's wind up going to tear fantasy football up every year. It's always
Always somebody.
Last year.
I think the dude who has the most potential to do that, if he stays healthy, and it's football. We got to keep saying that is Saquon Barkley. Like,
yeah,
he catch it. He could do whatever you need to do with it. He just got to stay healthy. He just got to stay on the field.
That's true. That's somebody we didn't. Man, because 2 years ago he was the man. So he kind of fell off last year, but Philly, I think they're going to reestablish that run game next year. So he could be the guy.
The best 5 running backs in the league right now, and I know, like you just said, he had a bad year last year for whatever reasons, but, Saquon Barkley is the premier guy talent-wise. I got Bijan Robinson up and coming, who might be ready to be next. I got Jonathan Taylor third as my number 3 running back. For the last 2, James Cook has been super consistent over the last several years. So I'd probably throw him at number 4, and then the healthy Christian McCaffrey. Those are the top 5 guys that I really like from the running back spot. So those would be my.
I think,
and of course they got to be healthy, but just
exactly
talented dudes, man. Nobody's more talented than Saquon. I think Bijan is becoming more productive though.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, Derrick Henry, throwing him in that mix with the top guys. I mean, the only thing about Derrick Henry is he is just not going to give you much in the passing game. But as far as his turnaround, hand off the rock, there ain't too many people going to do it better than Derrick Henry.
Yeah, the thing that bothers me about Derrick Henry sometimes is he runs so high that if he doesn't get past that initial line of scrimmage, now once he does, it's a problem. It's over. Yeah. It's a wrap. It's hard to bring him down. But he has enough carries for a guy his size where he doesn't really get going. And that's the thing. You got to get him going. You got to get him into the linebacker depth, before he's able to really make a big difference. Because I've never seen a guy that powerful run so high and limit some of his power and ability. It's not really in his legs. His power is more in his upper body, stiff arming guy.
Is this similar to Eric Dickerson to you a little bit?
Eric Dickerson is an anomaly, man. You can't compare nobody. Eric Dickerson is a freak.
Top 5 all time running back.
Yeah,
and Derrick Henry might move into that from a yardage and perspective before his career is over. So we might be throwing him in there. But Eric Dickerson, I don't know. He wasn't a big guy. He was tall.
I was just talking running style,
somewhat, but it's just different. Eric was so fast. And don't get me wrong. Derrick Henry's fast for a big guy. Eric Dickerson was fast for a human being.
I wouldn't say just as.
No, he's not just as fast. But also, I think it has to do with how committed they are to giving them the ball. Like you bring up the fact that you got to get him going, but Harbaugh's not there anymore. So somebody else, that team is built around Harbaugh's philosophy, and he made it work. But now you have somebody else coming in. How committed they are they to that style of football? Jackson's a great passer, but people still doubt him. So what's gonna happen? Are they gonna get your boy the ball the way they need to?
We just want to get our fans,
right?
Some knowledge on the fantasy football, just a little
exactly.
Just a
little
little,
taste
a
of
little
it.
taste of what we're gonna be getting into. We're gonna get a lot more deeper as the season goes along. We're gonna get a lot more detailed as well. Because, like I said, I'm the fantasy master here, man. Because I'm the fantasy guru.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see when we get in the
I
league. We'll
always
see how
had
much of a
when it
master
comes
you
to
are.
fantasy football.
Well, fellas, this has been an awesome, another awesome show. Ball-headed Logic has done it again. I think we put on a nice show today for people to watch. Please make sure that everybody comes out and make sure that you like and subscribe and share. Make sure you comment. Tell us how much you like us and how much you don't like us. I heard that we have had some. One of us is not big with the ladies right now, and that's good. Ladies, please continue to watch, as we want everybody to like and subscribe and follow us and enjoy what we have to say. For Don Jones and for Charles Mincy and for Greg Lewis, I'm Troy Russell. We'll see you guys again next week. Peace.
Dogs.
All right.